both professionally, personally, politically, but also my favorite part of your bio is that you're a psychotherapist. And I think this country really needs some psychotherapy. We need some time on the couch, Ken. So can you?
We'll make a line again.
Can you help us? Would love to hear your story and help us navigate how do we get through this very divided time in our country? And what role do you think you can play as a parent, as someone who is very active in your community?
Thank you. So just to clarify, first of all, my parents immigrated to the U.S. and then they had all of us. I'm the middle of 7 children, so growing up it was a chaos at home nonstop. I appreciate it now that I'm out, but when I was in there, I wanted to leave.
So you're second generation?
Second generation. Wait, the first generation born in the U.S.
Right.
So I'm from New York State originally. I grew up in a small town named Wed. It wasn't that diverse of a community, actually. It was more middle class, upper middle class, and more Caucasian. After high school, I knew that I wanted to go as far away as possible. Again, 6 siblings, I'm the middle child. I wanted to leave. So I went away to college at Pace University and got my degree in psychology. And then I went to grad school also at Pace, got my degree in a master's degree in mental health counseling. Now, while I was finishing up my undergraduate degree, it was around 2008, 2009 when Obama was running for office. And up to that point, I had no interest whatsoever in any kind of politics. I had no idea what was going on. But once I saw that there was a black man running for president, I figured, you know what, maybe I should start looking at things and figuring how I can get involved as well. So I got involved pretty heavily on campus, and I was all for his message. It made a lot of sense to me, and I voted for him. Once I got in, I was so happy. Me and my friends were so happy. We figured, you know what? It's our duty now to stay engaged, be involved with the hope and change that we're expecting. And then 6 months later, I realized that a lot of my views didn't exactly line up with the views of the president then, Obama. So I realized that, to my horror, that, oh my God, I think I'm a Republican. and my family, they're all Democrats, from the get-go. My parents came to this and on the process along the way. But I hid the fact that I had some Republican views for like a year. My close friends, I hid it for like a year. But then after I graduated undergrad, I went to grad school, I met a lot of other people that also had other views, and they happened to be more leaning to the right. So I finished grad school, and I applied to jobs all around the country. I knew I just wanted to work right away. And one of the first calls I got was in Springfield. And so I drove up there a couple hours, and I interviewed with my boss, Alan Stone, at the Center for Psychological and Family Services in Springfield. And it was a 3-hour interview. I think we spent 5 minutes of my resume in the remaining 3 hours talking about everything under the face of the sun, everything. And I knew that I wanted to move here. He spoke so highly of Springfield and all the great things it had here. I knew that I wanted to move here. So literally, in less than a month, me, my wife, and then my 2 kids, we moved over to Springfield from New York. And in that time, I started working as a therapist. I learned so much about Western Mass and Springfield from my patients, more than any realtor could have told me. I knew where to go, where to avoid, where was good to eat. In fact, I had one of my clients tell me, if you and your wife want to go out tonight and be safe, go to this place. It's controlled by the mob. They're fine, So I learned everything about Springfield from my clients. And once we decided after a couple of years that we wanted to buy a house in Springfield, we only looked here. And all my friends back home, friends that I made here in Western Mass, they're telling me, well, I want to go to West Springfield, go to Chicopee. Why would you want to buy a house in Springfield? But I said, what are you talking about? I've been here for 2 years. I've been around the city, and I love it. So we bought a house here. We bought a house a couple years ago, and we just finished unpacking, I think, like last week. And as soon as we bought a house, I wanted to get involved. I wanted to put roots down, deep roots down. Because growing up in my small town, it was the kind of town where no one locked the front doors. I remember growing up, my parents would leave their keys on the dashboard of the cars all summer. You couldn't think of doing that today, You can't even leave your doors unlocked sometimes. So I wanted that community, so I wanted to get involved right away. So I got involved in the PTO of a Pottinger Elementary School where my kids go, and I became president for the past couple of years. And my main focus was to get more parents involved. Because having been a therapist for 2 years, at that point, I realized that one of the biggest indicators of how well a child does is how involved the family is and their parents are. So I went almost on a crusade of getting parents to come to our events and come to our meetings and drag them in there, to bribe them with coffee and donuts, any way to get them there. And in the past 2 years, we really got a lot more engagement. What got me into politics myself is, again, putting roots down. I wanted to get involved, and I saw a lot of the issues going on in my community. I've heard a lot of issues from my patients who live in different parts of the city, and I figured, you know what, I can do more and reach people on a broader scale as opposed to just my 1 hour a week in my office. So I got involved in campaigns. I volunteered on a campaign a couple years ago, and in that process, I learned a lot. The first thing I learned is that everything you see on TV is exactly right in real life. You know, politics is a dirty game, and it's really crazy. But you know what? I had a lot of fun being involved in the campaign. So this year, I decided that I would run because with all the division in the country, I figured I can do a lot with my unique perspective as a therapist, as a PTO president, and as a Republican, to kind of see both sides and working directly with majority low-income population. I knew that we need to find a way to bring both sides together because from my experiences, my closest friends are the opposite side of the aisle to Democrats. And some of the best discussions I've had, thoughtful discussions I've had, has been with people who disagree with me. So that's why I kind of got involved now, and I'm hoping to continue my crusade to kind of bring more engagement, not only in schools with your children, but also in politics, because I think local politics matters almost more than national politics. It's in our backyard. It's where we start. And that's why I'm happy to be here today to kind of contribute however way I can.
Thank you. Thanks, Ken. That is beautifully put. Some of the best conversations you have are with people who you disagree with. I think we all got to get there. Like this is the big challenge.